one of you, I believe, have a great experience of life that shaped who you are today. Who I am today is a result of who I was in my past. We talk about past. There is a great legacy of memory that we remember. There are sad, happy moments, there are horrible moments, but there are also a memorable experience that motivate us in our new life. All the experience we have in life is stored in our memory. The moment when we visit the memory, we recall the experience. And that moment, we create a narrative. As a child, I grew up hearing so many stories, different stories about colonialization and my cultural heritage. It told orally from one generation to another generation in my family. Like many children in different worlds and different countries, I have bedtime story. My bedtime story, it might set in differently from yours. It's not through reading a book, but it told orally from my elderly. It's not in bed, but it's outdoor at the nighttime when all of us just have our early dinner and we sit in the round circle by the moon and hear our elderly tell our story. My elderly share about their experience in war. They share about how they survived the war and how horrible the war is and what they see during the war. They even go on and say how many people, the loved ones that they lost in the war. I don't met one of them, but I imagine as they told me. But that's a bad story. Sometimes it affects the kid. But they go on, tell about some great memory about their life before the war. My elderly is so proud, tell me how great their life was. They say they have everything they need in their daily life. They have farming, they have buffaloes, they have goats, they have cows, they have goat, and they know how to weave in their own clothes. And my mom will probably tell me, we drink fresh milk every morning. So my mom tell me how great it is to get the milk and cook, and that top thick milk is the delicious part. I never experienced that. I don't have that life. So as a kid, I went to sleep, picture that thick milk in my head throughout my sleep. And I blamed my mom because I'm hungry again after that. So that's my elderly story. I'm amazed with how they remember the details of the memory. I ask question to myself, how far can they remember and how far can they continue to tell over and over and over again? Like my elderly, I also have a story. I grew up in different time through Indonesian occupation, and I have a different journey, not similar with them. I grew up in one neighborhood called Baru Bite. I find out that that neighborhood was named on behalf of this Portuguese man called Mr. Bite. And the neighborhood was really a good neighborhood back in the day, because I remember as a child, like if one neighbor ran out of salt, he will run to another neighbor to get the salt. Or if there is a mango tree in one neighborhood, we know that when it's time ready, he will share with the other neighbors. And that's something that it happened because all the neighborhood live in that area. People know each other, and people has been live since Portuguese time. And I like that neighborhood. But I study in a different neighborhood. I study in the area of Balidi, and I know there's so many faces here who actually been through the same high school with me. There's something I remember anytime when I leave the school in the afternoon, when we finish our extracurricular. Sometimes there is no transport, so we walk home. And there's the two roads that I always pass. One is to the old market that we know now as Dili Convention Center. And another one is the road heading from Balidi to the old Unimed compound. There are two places that today still stick in my head. One is the police station nearby the old market, or DCC now. That police station is no longer exist today. But somehow my eyes is so attracted to what happening in the front of that building. It's so busy. I see the police in and out all the time with a bike and car. But I never see any of the people that they capture, the criminal or whatever it is. I never see it, but I always see how busy it is. And another building to head into the old Unimed compound is one big building with a big open field, but it looks so quiet. And I'm imagining what behind that building. At that moment, I can't see. I can only see what is in the front. But as the independents, I work with one project called Living Memory Project. And I'm start doing a video editing for the ex-political prisoner story. And I'm doing subtitle for the CIVR video. I hear so many stories for all these ex-political prisoners. And that day, I suddenly reconnect with my past. I reconnect with those places that I saw, that I don't see beyond that places. I don't see what's happening inside. But after hear this story, I finally reconnected with those two places. And today, I would say, what a place. Looks good outside, but it's so horrible inside. And today, I was having a big respect to everyone who sacrificed their life for us to gain this independence. And I'm so respectful for my time to live in and enjoy this independent life.
Jadi, kamu akan bekerja sama dengan kami untuk mengumpulkan segala informasi tentang KPK. Kalau kamu mau bekerja sama dengan kami, apa yang kamu minta akan kami penuhi? Mobil, sepeda motor, atau rumah. Semuanya akan terpenuhi. Asal kamu mau bekerja sama dengan kami.
Tidak masalah, saya tidak memiliki mobil ataupun sepeda motor. Lebih baik saya mati. Bunuh saja saya daripada saya bekerja sama dengan kalian.
I want to know in this room, like how many people love to see movies and love to see films. If anyone can raise their hands. Wow, this is great. Because it looks like most of the people love to see the film. So this is interesting because beyond our busy routine, cinema is a place where most of us go as a getaway from our busy reality. And as you imagine when you're in the cinema, you're ready to begin a journey with a character. And interesting as an audience, when we see the character, we sometimes connect ourselves to that character. Either that character remind about ourselves, or that character remind about someone else that we might know in our lives. And as we connect with the character, suddenly we be part of that character and we experience the journey of that character. And then, trust me, we try to understand how these characters feel and emotion, and sometimes we even want to take over the wheel of that character. So what happens is, if your character achieve what he deserved to achieve and accomplish what he deserved to accomplish in that journey, we, as the audience, accomplish something. So what happens is when we walk on after we leave the cinema, we feel satisfied. And that satisfaction produces a great energy in us for our next day. But what happens if the character didn't accomplish what we think the character should be? we will leave the cinema and still talk about this film. And sometimes we might can't sleep because we're still thinking about the film. And that's how powerful film is, because it connects us emotionally. So the passion of film, for me, it's already begin in my young age. Despite that, growing up in the Indonesian occupation, we experienced some horrible things that we see in our life. But I remember every month we have an outdoor cinema. Every afternoon before the rooster starts sound, the kids get ready, like dressing up nice, looking clean, like we go to cinema. But actually we're heading out to the open field. And all the kids, we sit in the front, we make sure we are in that best spot, the front one, to see the big screen. And the film they play is an action film, Indonesian action film, normally a martial art. So as you know, the action film, we have a hero character, protagonist, the hero is gonna be the antagonist, and it's gonna be a victory. But as a kid sitting there, I'm running my imagination. That hero that I see in the film is not the hero for me. As a kid, I imagine different hero, a hero in my age, sitting there, my head running a narrative, imagination of a 15 years old kid, a hero who conquered all the antagonists who tried to destroy his neighborhood. And he conquered all and he win. So I ran my own narrative as I watched the film. So that narrative actually helped me and toughened me up, and somehow it not fear me. So as I leave the field at the nighttime, like 9 o'clock, I'm not scared walking out to the night. And because I feel good. And I let that hero stay in me for a moment. And that's how powerful the cinema and the film can be, because it takes us to our own imagination of the world that only us can create. As a child, I know we all have curiosity. Our curiosity is so big, it can conquer the fears. When I was a child, I have so much curiosity. But back in the day, in Timor time, back in the day during the Indonesian occupation, there's so many news is censored. So the only way for you to get the news is to listen to what adults talk. So in Timor, when all the adults gathering, they talk about politics. And as a child, we sneak in to listen to the talk, because we want to be the first sources to go out there and share it to our friends. That's how Timorese, we love talk politics. And we're good in politics because we're born with it. It's already in our gene. But sometimes my curiosity leads me to take action. I remember there's one day when my sisters and few sisters from the neighborhood about to go to Mass. They went to Mass in the Cathedral Church. And as a kid, I followed them, go with them. But there's something happening that is not my expectation at all. Because it turned out the Mass was canceled. And suddenly there was big protests happening in front of the church. And here we are, among the youth group, start screaming, "Mate, kamoris, ukumurasikan." Dead or live, we got our freedom. That moment, I grow. My mom with my younger brother came, I don't even know, but after the incident. Interesting, my mom told us that she with my brother went there to find us, and the police insisted her to not go in, but she insisted the police to let her in and say to police, "I have 2 daughters inside." And I said to my mom, "What? Did you tell the police that you have 2 daughters inside there?" And my mom, "Yes." I was like, "Lucky you, Mom. Otherwise, you are the first taken by police to the police station." But Timorese mom, they're so caring and they're tough. They're really a tough mom. And I think that's why many of us kind of follow our elderly way. And from that experience, I grow, and then I find myself that all that experience is interconnected, and all that experience motivate one another to produce a new journey. The experience I share you is become a great ingredient for me in my storytelling. So in my next film, I put all the curiosity that I have, my hero character that I play in my imagination, and me follow the adult into my character in this film. And how, as a children growing up in Timor-Leste, we're growing up so quickly that we couldn't even imagine. But sometimes we need to growing up that moment and take responsibility in the young age. And that past has become a motivation for me. And I learned through narrative I can find heal and space to free my mind. And I believe that to transform the hardship experience into a storytelling, it's important. I quote for one writer named Tracy Strauss said, "Writing about trauma is more than simply documenting experience. It's about illuminating life on earth. It's about transforming tragedy to art, and hoping that somehow that piece of art might help someone else who's gone through unbearable experience and doesn't yet see that there is a truly light at the end of the dark tunnel." So to my brothers and sisters here, you don't need a luxury thing to begin right. You just need this, and let's start writing our story. Thank you.